But at this point, I was worried that people would say, "Oh, you've applied to dentistry because you couldn't get into medicine."
Yeah.
To medicine.
Bro applied to medicine just for the aura.
Yeah. I knew I wanted to do dentistry early on, but I just didn't get the grades in my GCSEs and my A-levels because for me, I remember I had to use E's and D's in my first, I think we call it AS exams. So that woke me up. I was like, whoa, I've never received such low grades in my life. What is happening?
That summer holiday before dentistry.
That's everyone. I know exactly what you're going to say.
I thought, you know what, I'm going to get into the gym. I'm going to go to dental school massive. That didn't happen. I got into dental school. I thought 5 years, I'm in Plymouth, far away from home. 5 years of the grind. I'm going to go gym every day. I'm going to get massive. By the time I'm back, I'm going to be a dentist and massive. Again, that didn't really happen.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Brightview Podcast, the show where we break down all things dentistry in a fun, modern, and maybe slightly chaotic way.
Whether you're a dental student, a pro with years under your belt, or someone who just weirdly enjoys teeth, you're in the right place.
All right, let's get straight into it. But first, let's introduce the crew.
I'm Dr Mohammed, dentist by profession, tooth lover by passion.
I'm Dr Hussein al-Mouswi. For me, dentistry is a passion. Perfect smiles, beautifully restored teeth, dot the T's and cross the I's.
And I'm Dr Marwan. Straight to the point, no fluff, just precision dentistry.
The Brightview Podcast is brought to you by the Brightview Accountancy. If you're a newly qualified dentist or in the first year as an associate, this one's for you. Brightview Accountancy are specialist dental accountants who work only with associate dentists, and they offer an amazing first year discount to help you get started on the right foot. From your first pay slip to your first tax return, you'll get clear advice, full support, and accountants who understand exactly what new associates need. You can book a free 30-minute consultation with Brightview Accountancy with the click of a button. All the details are in the comments below. Today's episode is a little different and a lot more personal. We're kicking off a special series where we play Guess the Item, Dental Edition.
Each of us has brought a mystery box filled with items that represent a key moment in our own dental journey.
The twist, none of us know what each other has brought.
We will split this into 4 sections, okay? The first 2 items will be Stage 1, life before dental school, Stage 2, during dental school, Stage 3, which was during our foundation training year, and Stage 4, associate life and the future.
For each stage, one of us will reveal an item and share why it mattered to that point in the journey. Along the way, we'll be sharing stories, memories, and lessons learned. Probably a bit of chaos too.
Let's get into it.
So, the first question I have, guys, I want you guys to go back to the time when we knew we wanted to be dentists, but we haven't got into dental schools. Marwan, tell me, what were you thinking of at that period of time?
To be honest with you, I only discovered dentistry 2 weeks before the deadline.
Right, okay.
I never wanted to be a dentist before that.
Okay.
My dream was to be a doctor,
Okay.
specifically a pediatric cardiologist.
Why is that?
There's a lot of reasons for that. Number one, you know, if you save a child's life and they grow up to change other people's lives,
Yeah.
you've made you as part of that impact.
Of course.
So I always wanted to be part of that, and I applied to medicine.
And what happened?
I didn't get in the first time.
Okay.
Cried my eyes out, I'll be honest.
I know that feeling, yeah.
Yeah, and then I took a gap year and I worked as an underwriting assistant, so something very different to healthcare. And I took a step back and I asked myself, what do I actually want? The reason why I asked myself that question is because every work experience that I did in hospital, doctors always told me, don't do medicine. And at first I thought maybe it's this massive test that they're doing for me to prove myself that I really want it.
Yeah.
But I asked myself, if it's the same answer every doctor is telling me, then maybe there's some truth to it.
Yeah.
So my first thing that I'd like to reveal is my acceptance letter. So essentially, after I took my gap year, I applied to... Okay, so let's take it a bit back. I took my gap year. and I had doubts about medicine thanks to these doctors. You know, things that I want in life, I've always wanted time and financial freedom, and I knew medicine wouldn't really give that to me, you know. I mean, kudos to all the doctors out there, you know, the impact that you have is amazing.
Incredible job.
But those things were also very important to me.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine, shout out to Fahim Rehan, said to me, "Oh, what do you think of dentistry? Have you ever considered it?" And that was like a light bulb moment. And I was lucky enough to have work experience with an amazing dentist who showed me life within dentistry, and it kind of suited what I wanted, and I also got to help people. But at this point I was worried that people would say, "Oh, you've applied to dentistry because you couldn't get into medicine." So me being me, the stubborn person that I am,
Did you apply both?
I applied to both, to medicine.
I applied to medicine just for the aura.
So actually, I got an offer for both.
From both?
Wow.
And because I already had the grades, my firm choice was whatever. Like whatever I pick is what I get into. So I put medicine as my insurance. Sorry, St. George's. And I put dentistry as my firm.
Just to say that you did it.
Just to say that I got in and that I didn't pick dentistry as a result. But you know, I think the turning point for me was because my heart was still kind of in medicine. So I did one last work experience before I applied. And in that work experience, the doctor came up to me and said, "Why don't you go into banking or something else? Don't do medicine, it's not worth it." And I realized it's not a test that they're going to throw, that they're trying to throw at me. They're genuinely speaking how they feel. And I'm glad I took their advice.
It goes to show how important work experience is. You know, really you do learn what you want. I mean, it literally switched Marwan's career choice. And are you glad you became a dentist?
I am. I'm very glad, to be honest. I haven't regretted it once. So yeah, let me move on into my second item. This is my Algerian national ID. I would open it, but I don't want you guys all to have my government ID on YouTube.
Let's have a look. Is there a photo in there?
Yeah. Let's show them the photo, actually.
Oh, you got baby Marwan.
Let's have a look.
But essentially, so in year 8, I moved to Algeria for a few years.
6 years older than that.
Before this, I would say I was pretty naughty. I didn't really focus much on my education. I didn't really care. You know, growing up in Tower Hamlets, a working class environment, all you wanted to do was have fun and chill with the boys. So I didn't really take education very seriously. We moved back to Algeria for a few years where I studied over there, and I realized the opportunities that we have in the UK, and I began to value that a lot more. So once we moved back to the UK, I decided to focus. I changed schools. I put my head down. I didn't really make much friends. I would come to school 8 o'clock in the morning. I would leave at 7 p.m. because obviously I was behind compared to all the other kids having missed 2 years of UK education. And fortunately, because of that experience, I was very focused, and then my grades initially they were like F's and D's and U's, and then suddenly they went and I started getting A's and A stars.
Wow,
it's quite a big jump.
So it kind of set my journey. I remember I came 1 week before my science exam, and they wanted to put me into BTEC, but I knew my potential. This was the end of year 9.
Oh, so you did all that in 2 years. You made that much progress in 2 years.
In 2 years. So the reason why I came back a week before my exam, and they wanted to put me into BTEC because they didn't have any sort of educational history when it comes to me. And I said to them, let me take the exam. You don't have to put it through. If I pass it, put me through as GCSE. So I went and I sat that exam.
This guy's full of aura.
I couldn't understand anything.
Pure aura.
So I guessed everything, and I used logic and that sort of stuff. And alhamdulillah, I managed to get a D for that paper.
Yeah.
And then I sat it the next year and I got an A star. But because of that D, I was able to sit GCSEs rather than BTEC, which set up the pathway.
Yeah, exactly. To get into dentistry.
Yeah.
Wow.
So those are my 2 items.
What a journey.
Yeah.
Perfect. Shall we go on to Hussein, and Hussein can tell us a little bit about his 2 items?
So I was lucky. I went straight into dentistry from A levels. To be honest, I didn't think I'd get in the first time round because I did the UCAT exam, which is like an aptitude test. I don't really know what it is.
That was hard. Do you
remember?
It's just
a whole load of weird questions. And I did really badly in it. Really badly. And we called up different universities, and they said I wouldn't even bother applying. You won't miss it. You won't get the cutoff. And at that time, I really wanted to get into a London university. It's close to home, but I just knew I wouldn't get the cut-off. Kind of discussed it with my parents, different options, different degrees, doing a gap year. And I kind of accepted I'm probably going to have to do a gap year, but let's apply. Why not? And I was very lucky. I applied to universities that were a little bit further from home. But I was very lucky, and I got an interview. And that interview turned into an offer. And that was with the University of Plymouth. So I got 2 interviews, one offer, which for me was amazing. And it just meant I could go straight into dentistry. So my first item...
Can I just ask you a question? Did you know about Plymouth before you applied, or you had no idea where that was? Or
did I know about Plymouth? Funny one. Well, actually, I have a family member who went to Plymouth a couple years before me, and that was the only way I knew about Plymouth. To tell you the truth, I didn't hear about the city until he went and did dentistry there.
Okay.
And it wasn't until the interview where I had to go to Plymouth did I realise where it was.
Yeah.
I don't know why, for some reason I thought it was up north. Turns out it's the most south you can be.
Yeah.
So southwest England.
There's really one way in, one way out, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
I feel like Londoners don't really leave London. They're in this bubble and they think everything's up north, but they never leave. We'll talk about this later, but I left London. But before I left London, I was always in London. I would never visit anywhere else. So that was the same with you when you thought it was up north, but it's actually south.
Pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. Now, my first item is a watch. This is the day I got my offer. So I'd done the interview and we had to wait a couple of weeks to get the results back in the offer. And I remember I kept checking. We had different forums of people like, today Plymouth are releasing the offers. Kept calling my parents. I was in college at the time. Luckily, I had a free gap in that time because I'd have definitely not been able to concentrate. And I get the email and it says, congratulations, you've been given an offer. And I remember the email because they had little like party balloons as part of the email. And I can't really describe the feeling. And yeah, I called my parents. I was in college. I told them I've got the offer. I think it meant more to my parents than it meant to me.
With a tear shed.
Yeah.
From you or from parents?
More for my parents, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, they pretty much carried me into dentistry. Yeah. So, I mean, really the degree goes to them. And yeah, I come back from college. At that point in time, I wasn't even thinking about that this is conditional on getting the A-levels. That hadn't hit yet. Yeah. I was just ecstatic about getting the offer. Yeah. Come back from college, and my dad, I remember my mum picks me up from the train station. She is over the moon. Yeah. And my dad takes me to the sort of shops straight after, and he buys me a watch. And I still wear this watch till this day. It's my only watch and my favourite watch. I love it. It's a rotary watch. And my dad bought it for me. He was just absolutely excited that I had got the offer. Yeah. And after that, things settled in and I realised, okay, now I really need to study. But yeah, I still this day, I love that watch.
Do you know what? Do you know one thing that I really love? The fact that you got this watch is because, I don't know about most people, but especially for us, we've always... Technically, if you think about it, we've always were good academically. We achieved well, right? But for us, it's always been like, once we've achieved something, right, there's always the next one and the next one and the next one. We forget to enjoy the moment that we're in. Yeah. If you ask me, do you remember the moment when you got accepted to dentistry? I probably wouldn't be able to tell you what I was going through, because in my head, I was to think, okay, now I got in, I need to pass first year. Oh, I need to pass second year. Now I need to graduate. So you sort of don't enjoy the moment. So I really like the fact that you got something that you can always look back at and say, you know what, this is what got me. And I guess this is why this is so good for us, because we can talk about our experiences like that. That's, I think, it's amazing.
Well, you know, when you really look back, obviously now we're dentists, we're constantly comparing ourselves. This guy works in a nicer clinic. This guy can do better restorations than me.
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And we're almost unhappy. We're like, why don't I have that?
Yeah. Why can't I do this? Why is it taking me this long?
why does he own 3 clinics and I'm still... But if you look back to, you know, when you were in school or college or A-levels, is... just the idea of somebody coming in and trusting me with their teeth and me having this responsibility and having the title of a dentist, to me that was a dream. Yeah. And now we're here and I feel like we don't really appreciate it.
Till and this day, want more. We don't. Like, we're so lucky every day we're doing this, like getting people out of pain, you know, improving the confidence, but we just take it for granted. We just, it's just a job.
We really shouldn't take, because people, and these are genuine people with human lives who've gone about their lives, are coming into your room, opening their mouths and having crazy amounts of trust towards you.
I never thought of
So,
that.
I mean, what a privilege to be in that situation, to be a person that you're trusted to that level. So I feel like we're living our dream right now, and we need to enjoy. Obviously, we want to be better,
of course.
and I want to learn a new technique. I want to learn new procedures,
better, faster, more efficient.
You know,
of course.
but what a privilege it is now. Just the checkup is an honor for me.
Basically, the moral of the story is not doing dentistry for the money, guys.
He loves it. He loves it.
Today's episode sponsor is Lift Social. Lift Social provides complete done-for-you social media management for all industries and all client types. But did you know they specialize in the dental industry? Here's a quick success story. A busy orthodontic practice in the north of England saw outstanding results within just 5 weeks of partnering with Lift Social. Lift took away the stress of planning and posting content, saving the practice 8 hours of admin time every single week. Those reclaimed hours were reinvested into revenue-generating activity, leading to around 20 new patient inquiries per week, a huge uplift for the practice. If you're a dentist looking to grow without adding more to your plate, Lift Social is well worth a look. Okay, my next item. This is my failure. So, it's a gym shaker, protein shaker, whatever you want to call it, because that summer holiday before dentistry.
That's everyone. I know exactly what you're going to say.
I thought, you know what, I'm going to get into the gym, I'm going to go to dental school massive. That didn't happen. I got into dental school, I thought 5 years, I'm in Plymouth, far away from home, 5 years of the grind, I'm going to go gym every day, I'm going to get massive. By the time I'm back, I'm going to be a dentist and massive. Again, that didn't really happen. So, if anything, the only two body transformations I got from dentistry is the belly
I know exactly
and the loss of the hairline. So
I don't know about that for me yet, but definitely this.
Yeah, those two. There was.
Do you know what it is? I think it's because we're sitting down all day. If you think about it, how do you guys do your checkups? Do you guys stand up or do you sit down? Do you do anything standing up when any treatments?
Extractions.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do sat down if I'm feeling lazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Mole extraction sat down.
I can't lie. I just sit down. But now what I'm trying to do is trying to break up my day when I'm having checkups, trying to stand up a little bit more. But that's it. We're just sitting down.
To tell you the truth, I don't do anything without loops now. Whether it's an examination, even extractions, it's all with loops. And I've bought more magnified loops over the years. I mean, I started off with the 2.5 times when I was in dental school, and those definitely carried me through those plaque and bleeding scores and the 6-point pocket charts, and then upgraded to 5.5, and I think I'll upgrade again, to be honest, and go slightly higher mag until you reach a microscope, and then where do you go from there? But yeah, that was the protein shaker. Was my lack of gym throughout my dental journey. Imagine working hard all day, treating every patient with care, and then suddenly someone leaves a 1-star review. Sometimes a negative comment is just a blip, or even a malicious, but once it's online, it's there. So how can you handle negative comments and DMs on your social media without stress? That's where Lift Social comes in. They use a calm, professional, 4-step approach to respond strategically, protecting your brand, reputation, and engagement every time. Don't let a single comment define your practice. Reach out to Lift Social today and see how they can safeguard your online presence so you can focus on what you do best, caring for your patients. To find out more or to book a free discovery call, simply visit liftsocial.co.uk. Link is in the description.
Let's say if you did go gym and you did commit to it, and
What
you
a
became
dream.
Wham, do you think you'd be a better dentist now,
yeah,
or the hench version of you?
there's better at extractions, right?
Do you think so?
Well, no, I don't think so. I think
It's quite technique.
it's
sensitive,
very
isn't it?
technique. Is not it's people, especially patients, that say, "Oh, you're a big guy, you'll be able to take that tooth out." But believe me,
I
No.
think if you're a big guy, you're more likely to fracture the tooth and
Yeah,
slap it into.
yeah, quite heavy-handed.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
actually, no. I'm sure there's some really big dentists and they're doing a great job. But I don't know. I can't.
I mean,
imagine
have you ever
myself.
tried to handshake a big guy? They are pretty firm.
Mm.
So imagine that force on your tooth.
But you know what? I think with prepping, like a veneer prep or a crown prep, I guess your wrist would be more locked. And you know how they say you want to keep your wrist locked and move with you. Maybe that's a benefit.
Yeah, but you might have the biggest biceps but the weakest wrists. I guess you
Well,
got to train the right things.
It depends what you train.
Yeah,
to, be honest.
exactly.
Well, actually, I've been to the gym with my principal dentist, and he's one of my main mentors, by the way. Absolutely love the guy. And I remember we were working out wrists. And we did wrist workouts for a good session. He's got all his cool wrist workouts, so yeah. Maybe, I mean, I'm not massive, so I wouldn't know. Right,
That's cool,
Mehdi's
that's cool.
turn.
Right, for me, I've got a couple of things actually that I wanted to first talk about. So, my journey to dentistry is a little bit different to you guys because for me, actually, I knew I wanted to do dentistry early on, but I just didn't get the grades in my GCSEs and my A-levels because for me, the penny didn't drop then. I was sort of not really so focused with my life. I was just breezing past, and I was always clever, so I got through GCSEs fortunately and did all right and got into the subjects that I needed for dentistry in my A-levels. But A-levels, that jump from GCSE to A-levels is a big jump.
It's a
and
jump.
you can't just take it how you studied in GCSE. You've really got to start working hard. So back then we were allowed retakes. So I remember I had to use E's and D's in my first, I think we call it AS exams. So that woke me up. I was like, whoa, I've never received such low grades in my life. What is happening? And then that sort of woke me up. But I left it too late, basically. There was a big jump that I needed to do. I didn't end up quite getting my results, and I didn't quite end up getting accepted to any dental school. So really, this item is basically an ID card of sort of the backup choice that I had. It wasn't really a backup choice because I don't think I ever would have done a career. It was biomedical science in St. George's, so maybe we would have met earlier.
Could have.
But I ended up doing biomedical science, thinking that, okay, I'll just get through it, get my result, and then afterwards reapply, whether it's dentistry or medicine. At that point, I knew it was going to be dentistry. I didn't want to do medicine, but for my parents, I think they wanted me to go more towards the medicine route. But I always knew dentistry is something because of the freedom, and as you mentioned before, that sort of the care for, you're still caring about the patient, but also, you're not doing nights. That's something that I don't think I could personally do, working at nights and be fully focused. I'm a bit of a zombie at night time. But that was one of the main reasons. And when I actually did biomed, at the time I thought I'm probably wasting my time. It's just a stopgap just to get into the other things. So I never really truly appreciated it. But now that I've finished dental school, I actually did appreciate it because of the things that I learned, the experience that I had in university, and the people that you meet. Like, I've met some amazing people that have gone on to become doctors and radiologists and pharmacists, and
Do you think biomed helped you when you got into dentistry?
At the time when you're doing biomed, no, you think this is just a stopgap. I just need to pass it to get into whatever I want to get into.
Yeah.
But when you go into dental school, the first year of dental school, a lot of it you learn in biomedical science.
But do you not need to relearn it, to be honest? Because you would have forgotten it.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I think for me, biomedical science was one of those things that I just thought, let me just learn it, and then after the exam, I'll just forget it. So I did. I guess you're right. I did have to relearn it, but when you're relearning something, it's a lot quicker. So I got to sort of relax a little bit more.
So you chilled a bit more than us in dental school.
Yeah, of course. I was a bit older as well. I was 23 when you guys were
a bit more mature.
I was 22 in my first year.
Grandpa.
Yeah, I was a grandpa literally. And the second thing is passport. I'm not going to show you guys the passport. It's
Bro bought his passport.
Is it a British passport?
yeah. The color. Look at the color. Basically, again, for me, I knew. I think this is one more thing for anyone that is applying for dentistry is you've got to know your strengths, what you've done well at, what you haven't done so well at. So with your UK CAT, is it something that's gonna lift you up in choice? Your personal statement, things like that. You got to check. I knew that my UK CAT was okay. It wasn't amazing. It was okay. I just knew the thing that I've got is, well, my results now, because I've obviously graduated, and I matched the results, and also I can talk. So I thought these are my two things. The interview is what I will have a better chance on, and my UK CAT was okay, so I didn't really rely on that. So I actually applied for nothing in London because I knew that I'd compete a lot more with the people in London. For me, I didn't care where I was. I just needed to get into dental school. So I thought, the question I asked myself is, where do people not want to go? That is honestly
everybody wants to go to Plymouth.
That is honestly why what I search. Where do people not want to go as much? And the reason why, the science behind it is the acceptance rate is better. So for example, for one role or one position, there's only 5 other applicants. So I have a higher chance of getting in compared to somewhere like Queen Mary or King's, where everyone wants to go there,
London, yeah.
So I just thought, look, I really want to get it. I'm getting pressure to really do it because I've just graduated. I didn't get it the first time around. Now I'm a mature student, so I really went. And
so where did you get in the end?
Sorry,
which uni?
So I went to University of Central Lancashire up north. Okay. So the reason why I actually got the passport is because I also had an offer from Aberdeen.
Different country.
Different country technically. Okay. So I went with my dad to the interview.
Catch a flight,
basically, on a plane. And then I thought to myself, at the time I was like, you know what, wherever I get it, it's a gift from God, or it's a blessing. I'll accept it. But I really did want to go Aberdeen, man, because I'm very family orientated, and the fact that I'd have to come back by plane to see my parents, which would mean that I probably wouldn't come back so often. So I thought, no, I really hope that I got at least UCLan, and unfortunately I did. Alhamdulillah, I got it. And but this is the other thing that I mean to say. We give everything to reach that one point, and once we get it, it means nothing now. Now we're on to the next thing. But this is quite nice for me, because now it sort of made me think a little bit more. So guys, just before we finish, I just want to say a massive thank you to Hazel from Lyft, and we have decided to give her a little gift that we discussed, and we thought we'll show her what it is. It's a custom t-shirt with
wow.
It
needs ironing.
But yeah, thank you so much for all that, and this is a little gift for you.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap on our episode today. Thank you for tuning in to the Brightview Podcast. I'm Dr. Mohammed.
I'm Dr. Hussein.
And I'm Dr. Marwan. And we've loved sharing our stories.
Make sure to tune in every week for new episodes, more laughs, and honest chats about life in dentistry.
And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also DM us your funniest or weirdest dental stories. We might just share it at the next episode.